Today's movie is part The Warriors, part Assault on Precinct 13, and 100% Jim Van Bebber. Welcome to Sick Flicks, where I take a deep dive into the cinematic sewer to help you embrace your inner gore geek. I'm Mike Bracken, aka The Horror Geek, and today we're tackling Jim Van Bebber's cult classic, Deadbeat at Dawn. Released in 1988, Van Bebber financed his feature film debut by taking the student loan he got to attend film school and using the money to make this movie instead. This low-budget labor of love is rough around the edges, but it's also a brutally effective exploitation film. If you like movies with a mean streak a mile wide, this one is for you. But enough about that. Can Deadbeat at Dawn gank enough gang members to earn a coveted 5 barf bag rating? Let's get to the gore and find out. Oh, and before we get started, today's video is brought to you by patrons Darren, Dennis K, and Grace Smith. If you'd like to help sponsor some videos and free me from the shackles of YouTube's arbitrary community guidelines nonsense, you'll find a link to my Patreon in the pinned comment and description below. Seriously, every bit helps keep the show rolling. And now, let's get bloody. We fade in on this card. Asmodeus Productions, eh? This is gonna be one hell of a good time. And straight to the title card. Pretty low effort font, but points for putting it over actual footage and on a black background. I will say, I'm really bummed Van Bebber never gave us sequels like Deadbeat at Night and Deadbeat at Brunch. Oh, sweet knuckle knife. I'd given my left testicle for one of those as a kid. I will say I admire the decision to put the credits over footage of random leftover trash from the shoot. Written and directed by Jim Van Bebber. Jim's one of exploitation cinema's greatest what-ifs. He made some really good shit, but it's too bad he didn't get to make more movies. Did we just start filming in a kaleidoscope? I haven't even had any edibles yet, and this movie is already making me trip balls. Hey, how'd they get B. Arthur to be in this movie? Turns out Nana's just here to give career advice.
If you do not believe in what you do, then your work is pointless.
She's just like Yoda. Anyway, and the young lady's like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna chase my dreams and become a roadie for Metallica. Hey, this doesn't look like Dawn to me. And jump scare. I can't believe she didn't see him coming at her on a totally empty street in broad daylight. Someone clearly needs to work on their situational awareness.
You know there's a gang war going on?
Yeah, the Sharks and the Jets are at it again. Last dance-off was a real bloodbath. It is nice of him to offer to shave her neck hair, though. Hold still, I gotta clean up this jawline. But before he can finish, Officer Friendly shows up.
You get out of the car, sir.
Probably just needs his cop stash trimmed. Dude sorta looks like Officer Bill Cower. Awesome that Van Bebber basically decided to film the drive to the next location and put it in the movie. And it looks like they're getting ready to shoot The Devil and Miss Jones, part 967 in there. Might be a rougher Blue movie since she's given him a taste of her pimpin'. By God, he's locked in the claw! Yeah, that might be my best JR ever, and it still sucks. But say what you will, this dude has clearly mastered the art of pillow talk.
I'm gonna pull your eyeballs out of your head and eat them.
Now give me some sugar, baby. Come see beautiful downtown Dayton, Ohio. Paid for by the Dayton, Ohio Tourism Commission. Woohoo, it's Van Bebber. Check out that hair. Oh yeah, we're totally about to get some West Side Story action. Wait, is that Van Bebber or the Lone Ranger? It's like these gangs are fighting over who gets to raid the Spirit Halloween store. Also, holy shit, John Oates is in this gang. Say it isn't so, John. I will say it's pretty convenient to have your gang showdown in a cemetery. It eliminates several steps in the body removal process.
Come on, Goose. You're not stupid.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Van Bebber's name is Goose? Like the guy from Top Gun? This is part of the Top Gun cinematic universe. Instead of blasting each other, they decide to settle it with knives. Oh, that's not a knife, mate. This is a knife. Do you kids even remember Crocodile Dundee? Christ, I'm old. Oh yeah, this is just like Seagal and Tommy Lee Jones at the end of Under Siege. Danny draws first blood, but Van Bebber is serving up heaping helpings of pimpin'. That dude's spitting chiclets. Fight choreography clearly not by Yen Wu Ping. Hey, it's Dave Grohl. This is like a gang of rock stars at this point. Winner by knockout and still the heavyweight champion of Dayton, Ohio, Jim Van Bebber. Then, just like always, the cops show up late. Heard you boys are running a fight club down here. Making enough racket to raise the dead. This dude's gonna blast Goose, but not so fast. Guess his career as a pianist is over.
Hell yeah.
No, not like that, you pervs. I said pianist, meaning he plays piano. Turns out Goose doesn't have health insurance, so he's gonna have to fix these wounds on his own. Yeah, this is a MRSA infection just waiting to happen. Luckily for him, his girlfriend took home Eck. Sewing lessons are finally gonna pay off. And now she's gonna summon Lucifer. This movie is really all over the place. Meanwhile, Van Bebber's just sleeping one off. I've been there. And now it's time for small talk.
Morning. How's your hand?
Well, I'm gonna have to wipe Lefty for a while. With small talk over, she's got a little present for him. Sweet, it's the necklace from Titanic. She wants him to take the day off, but no dice.
Stay here with me a while.
Gotta go out. I gotta find out what the word on the street is.
Yeah, lady, that gang isn't gonna run itself. Man, this must be some serious business. Gotta grab the chucks and the knife. She makes one last-ditch attempt to make him stay, but he's not having it.
I never want to see you again. I never want to see you again, you bastard!
Linda Day George, take it away.
Bastard! Bastard!
Oh shit, turns out the serious business was practicing these sweet katas in the cemetery. Look, it's still more believable than Ralph Macchio being a black belt. Yeah, Rex Kwando for the win, mofos. He showed that twig who was in charge, and probably pulled a hammy doing it, but still. And now it's time for the chucks. Asked a buddy if I could use his nunchucks once. He said, sure, knock yourself out. I woke up an hour later with a welt on my head. I feel like this movie is basically autobiographical at this point. I mean, I may have done this exact same shit as a teen. Scenic downtown Dayton. It's a good thing he did all that training because now he's gonna have to put it to use. Back at home, his special lady is asking the question we've all been wanting an answer to.
Why are you such a fuck up?
And now it's time for another bad acting showdown.
Who you calling a fuck up?
You goddammit!
Anyway, the point of all this terrible dialogue is that she's giving him an ultimatum. It's her the gang.
If you don't, Goose, you can forget about me.
What? He's really gonna do it?
Okay, fuck it. I'll quit the Ravens.
This is gonna be a short movie. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. He's obviously taking her somewhere special, too. Oh, babe, you're gonna love it here. This is where I found that dead wino and a stack of wet hustlers someone left behind. Best day of my life.
Tell me we'll be together forever.
We're gonna be together forever, ever.
Uh-oh. Famous last words. Oh, Jesus. It's a good thing he's getting out of the gang. Being seen in public with that thing on would get him a beat down. Yeah, man, this whole gang thing's just not for me anymore. I'm trading my headband for this ornate cross. It is nice his fellow gang member is concerned about his future endeavors, though.
So what do you think you're gonna do?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna play it by ear. Travel the world, spread the gospel, get into adventures. Maybe start a YouTube channel. Looks like he picked the wrong time to leave, though, because there's a gang merger happening.
That's right, we've joined the gangs together and we're gonna be like one big scab on this city.
I think Dayton is pretty much one big scab already. Wow, even the graffiti is heckling Van Bebber. Back to the kaleidoscope. It looks like things are definitely coming up Millhouse for both Goose and rival leader Danny.
What is it? I'm pregnant.
Hey, congrats. Aw, what the hell? Sure, you can go right into next week. Focus movie. Well, it's my first day of civilian life. Better find a gig. Zeus hired a bird keeper, and I ran the Ravens, so this should be a perfect fit. Why does this guy make me think of Jesus in a street gang? I'm just high on the Holy Spirit, man. And yeah, sure. Let's give him a monologue, too.
I hate people, man. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about nothing.
Oh, he's a nihilist. I hear that's exhausting. Props to you if you get that joke. And we'll say he and I have very similar life philosophies, though.
I just fucking hate people. I hate people. And I don't care!
Boy, Goose better get a gig fast, because they're so broke she has to call people on a Ouija board. Look, Goose, I know the job market is tough, but I don't think you've got the looks to make it in the peep show industry. Anyway, since we got the board out, let's ask it some questions. Will Goose ever find a gig? Outside, these guys show up. Man, these are the weirdest Avon salespeople ever. She should really be summoning 911 on that Ouija board. Well, looks like my investment in Apple is about to pay off. Problem solved. And he's found a buyer for his extra powdered sugar. Oh yeah, this is gonna add that extra flavor boost to my next batch of French toast. Man, who knew Captain Kangaroo was in the crank business? I feel like this explains some things. Back at the apartment, these guys are beating Goose's girl with the golf clubs. Clearly, they're feeling pretty teed off. Goose eventually flies south back to his apartment, where he finds this.
Oh God, don't die. Don't die.
And it's time for the inevitable primal scream. Time to take out the trash. Putting her in the trash compactor, you could say he's really crushing on her. And Goose finds time to swear vengeance as well.
I'm gonna kill him, fucking bastard.
Come on, Goose, you can do better than that. Show him how it's done, Linda Day George.
Bastard! Bastard!
Apparently, the lease was in her name, and now Goose is homeless. I bet the VA could help him. I mean, look at this sweet new bachelor pad they got him. Sure, it's full of black mold, but beggars can't be choosers. Feeling a little famished, he hits the fridge. Great, a flat beer and some mayo packets. We're eating good tonight, boys. I guess the housekeeper is due back tomorrow. Unfortunately for him, someone's already squatting in this palace. Hey, did you eat my expired mayo packet? Honestly, this guy might be the best actor in the movie.
This might be in my refrigerator. I don't remember inviting any pumpkin in here to drink my beer.
Turns out this guy is Goose's dad. I mean, Goose seems pretty well adjusted, comparatively speaking. Looks like they were just randomly demolishing a building, but sure. Let's throw that in there too. Turns out Dad's not putting up with any squatters. Get up, you bum. I need you to score me some horse. When that doesn't work, he goes to more extreme measures. I need you to cleave, son. I mean split. And now he's doling out pimp fists. This is for buying me socks for Christmas. It's kind of wild we're halfway through this movie and we haven't had any revenge yet. Homeless again, Goose drowns his sorrows at the bar. Clearly he missed the sexual harassment seminar HR ran. No means no, Goose. Now he's off having some deep thoughts. Can you daydream at night? He hits rock bottom, but his gang buddy from earlier saves him. I don't think the Big Lebowski's money is down here, but I'm gonna keep looking. He's not doing this out of the kindness of his heart, though. He needs Goose for a job.
We got a job at the end of the month, a robbery. Armored car.
But if you guess Danny still wants Goose dead, give yourself a screenwriter's credit.
I wanted Goose dead, but he's still alive. When are you gonna hit him?
And he's not pleased that Goose isn't already dead. As motivation, he gives old Bone Crusher a taste of his pimp fist. And more kaleidoscope action, except this one is taking us into the future. How many weeks later? That's kind of vague. I hope it's 28. I find it hard to believe this motley crew is going to pull off a heist. They look like they get busted shoplifting Sudafed. Before they can head out, Bone Crusher is going to relieve some tension by playing with his snake.
Hell yeah.
No, he actually has a pet snake. Goose doesn't want that thing in his face, so we're treated to another big plate of Pimp Hand. Oh yeah, just another afternoon in Dayton. Looks like Goose is about to drop in on this armored truck. Oh god, he's going to kill him with a giant ninja throwing star. Somewhere, Sho Kasugi is nodding in approval. And somehow this whole thing worked. Not exactly the Lufthansa heist, but yeah.
A large teenage gang attacked and robbed security guards.
Large teenage gang? Half of these guys look 40. Hey, did they film the after party on the set of Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince's Parents Just Don't Understand video? Look, man, I'm not as think as you drunk I am. Not sure if Goose is getting ready to party or go to war. Oh, hey, I bet this guy's giving out tickets to a free screening at the Metropole. Anyway, this meeting of the gangs is going great. And as Admiral Akbar once said, it's a trap. But Goose is not going down without a fight. After some blasting, he grabs the cash and flees. I'm sure no one will mind. Okay, maybe they do mind, or they're just trying to get him to carpool. With the gang in hot pursuit, Goose has to dive off this bridge. Russian judge gives it a 2.5. And now it's like one of those driver's ed videos. Blood on the windshield. Since running is thirsty business, Goose then stops for some beverages. Look at this dude. He's like, I know he's gonna shoplift some old Milwaukee.
You gotta pay for that up here before you drink it.
I don't know. This seems like an overreaction. You don't have to shoot the guy over a Sprite.
Give me your gun, Grandma.
Holy crap. Now even the innocent bystanders are packing. This is a lot like Florida, really. Anyway, I have some grave concerns about where this movie is headed. Oh yeah, definite concerns. We've got a girlfriend ghost in a body bag. But it turns out Goose was just gonna be late for football practice. Next, we meet this random character in a diner for reasons.
Just one for myself. I'm not very hungry.
Who's the other one for?
God. Go to the kitchen and make him some breakfast, you heathen bitch.
Man, these evangelicals are out of control. Goose is gonna meet up with his dead girlfriend's kid sister, but before they can rendezvous, Bone Crusher and the boys find him. Let's get ready to rumble! I know these fights aren't particularly well choreographed, but most real fights are pretty awful to watch too. I mean, this all reminds me of stuff you'd make in the backyard with friends and a camcorder, and I'm totally here for it. Goose really does love the roundhouse spinning kick combo, though. I mean, we could have run a counter on them, honestly. And now he's putting in work with the chucks. Where's the ref? He's getting double teamed. Bone Crusher's like, I'm feeling pretty bored right now. Yeah, dude's really laying the lumber. But Goose is making the Hogan-esque comeback. Just beating him like he owes him money. Then he hits him with the throwing star. Can you stop Bone Crusher? Sure I can. But just to be sure, we're going to bounce his head off the pavement a few times too. Then he gets run over and loses his head. I'm already pushing my luck with this movie, so take my word for it. Of course, the sister shows up at the worst possible time, and Danny carjacks her. But Goose is like, you need 3 people to get into the carpool lane, so I'm coming too. And now it's time for the final showdown. Goose versus Danny, round 3. Danny's hungry, but Goose brought him some finger food. And now he's using him as a human pincushion. Shanks a lot, man. But Goose isn't going to take that and gives Danny an impromptu tracheotomy. With Danny down, he hands over the money and professes his feelings for his dead girlfriend.
Did you kill her?
I loved her.
That Goose, romantic to the end. I'd also like to point out that while Goose is indeed a deadbeat, this doesn't look like Dawn to me. Just walk it off, Goose. It's gonna be fine. Dead guy at mid-afternoon. And credits. So, what have we learned from Deadbeat at Dawn? Well, for starters, that you can make a movie on film in the late 80s for the price of a crappy used car and totally make it look like an exploitation film from the 70s. Beyond that, it's proof that maybe taking your film school student loan and using it to make a movie is more useful than actually going to film school. Deadbeat is a rough little film, both in its execution and its subject matter. Van Bebber was clearly a young filmmaker, but the passion comes through and makes up for many of the technical shortcomings. It's not a pleasant viewing experience, but you'll likely never forget it. I'll always champion the Manson family as Van Bebber's greatest accomplishment, but if you love low-budget exploitation cinema that evokes memories of a 70s Skid Row grindhouse, this one is essential. But enough about that. Can Deadbeat at Dawn kill enough gangbangers to earn a coveted 5 barf bag rating? Let's go to the gore card. In terms of gross anatomy, Deadbeat at Dawn delivers. We're treated to multiple stabbings, a golf club beatdown, a decapitation, a ripped out throat, and a whole lot more. Sure, the effects are pretty low budget, but Deadbeat is a splattery little film no matter how you slice it. Because of that, I'm delighted to award this one the full 5 barf bag rating. This is definitely a sick flick, and we couldn't show you most of the greatest gore moments. Looking for another low-budget grindhouse flick? Then be sure to check out my review of Heartland of Darkness. You'll find a link here on the screen. I'll meet you over there. Until next time, I'm Mike Bracken, aka The Horror Geek, bringing you all the splatter that matters.